The mesmerizing, blood-covered ink of the red fountain pen taught me something very special. A secret I'm almost scared to speak about in this video. For you see, the lesson I learned using this special, though rather strangely colored pen, helped me build an income from my coffee table. How, you ask? As I practiced guiding that strangely colored ink across the pages of my practice notebook, luck would eventually strike. Or was it destiny? I knitted my first online gig in less than 72 hours. $165 for my words on paper. Writing for pay. Completely from scratch. No confidence as a writer, no background in this field, and yet I had my first job under my belt. I was so happy I could have jumped out of my own skin. But that was just the beginning. I continued on, scaling my experience into hundreds per day, thousands per month. Over time, I'd eventually set down my special red drafting pen and go straight to my keyboard. Because at that point I had confidence, a portfolio, and a steady $5,000 per month income as a home-based, laptop-based writer. The keyboard was all I needed to keep it going from there. Hi, my name is Sean De Silva, and I'd like to introduce you to the world of home-based writing. It's the very best opportunity for an online newbie to start making a reliable, easy, accessible middle income right from home or anywhere else you choose. Without waiting years or months to see results, you could do it this week if you wanted, or even today. Just think about how powerful that is. What if you could give up the cubicle life forever and stop taking orders from a boss with never-ending demands? What if you could play with your kids during break time, set your work hours during the morning, evening, or even nighttime if you wanted, and work from any area of the country or literally anywhere else in the world, and enjoy a very nice Western middle income regardless of wherever you choose to stay? I'm talking about $5,000 a month or $60,000 a year to start, with plenty of opportunity to expand even further if you so desired. Guess what? You're about to learn a fairly safe way to get all of it. I know because I've done it myself, and I'm about to reveal my secret to becoming a well-paid, location-independent writer. Fair warning though, this isn't some schemy new way to make $12,000 a second. The writing profession has been around for a long time. And as you'll soon find out, anyone can do this. You'll actually be getting paid for your ideas and perspectives more than the words themselves. More on that in just a bit. So keep watching to learn how to do it yourself. First, just so you know what kind of opportunity we're talking about, here are some facts about the writing profession. Most of these are coming from the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics. The average writer's income is about $60,000 a year, or $5,000 a month. Keep in mind, this means half of writers make more than $60,000 a year. Writing is location flexible. 2 out of 3 writers are self-employed and sell their services over the phone or online. Write from your coffee table, the local Starbucks, or don't even get out of bed and just write there. It's one of the few paths that offers this. Want to take a few hours off? Get up and go outside? Or get up and go to another country if you feel like it? I'm in Thailand right now, by the way. Complex internet businesses can be hard to get going, but with 136,000 writers in the US alone, it's fair to say this online money-making path is a whole lot easier to get right. Do you want to expand in the future? Good. Words are the language of the internet, the ideal place to sharpen your axe and finally get it when it comes to reeling people into your own website. And by the way, there's never been more demand for $5,000 a month writers. You can thank the online blog and social media explosion for that. Sound like a pretty sweet way to get going with a solid, reliable online income? Well, then you know why I'm a writer myself. Every day I thank my lucky stars for discovering the writing profession fairly early in life. Simply put, if you value freedom, this is a great way to make your living. But why is that? Why are writers relatively free compared to most other professions? The reason writing is so accessible to you, me, and everyone else with a computer is precisely because one big player can't take over the writing business. In other words, there cannot be a McDonald's of writing. Good writers are highly specialized, which means clients need to be flexible enough to hire them over the phone or even across the country if necessary. The profession also naturally lends itself to home-based work. In most jobs, let's be honest, you're a cog in the system. They need you in the office. Writers, on the other hand, produce content that often demands a pin-drop quiet workplace in order to get those best insights out. Add the fact that your work can be handed over email or postal mail, and you have a recipe for a rare home-based profession. And that's why I have a bit of a confession to make about all this. I got into writing for only one reason, because even a broke, jobless dummy like my old self could make money online with it. Years later, and I still haven't found anything easier to build a laptop income with, but if you do, feel free to pass it on. I mean, I couldn't even find a job in my own field when I started as a writer. I only applied for writing jobs to pass the time until my resume clicked with some corporate higher up, and I got a job in my field, financial systems, which is as snoozeworthy as it sounds. It never happened, though. Thank God for that. What did happen was the writing jobs covering my gas money started turning into something bigger and better. Hey, look at that. I got another one, I'd say to myself as I opened my inbox. Like clockwork, it was happening at least a couple times per week. Small jobs turned into bigger jobs from happy clients. Eventually, I learned how to sift out clients who paid $50 per hour. I got a few of them on board, and that was my trigger moment. I dropped my degree in my closet and went full-time, and by that I mean 7 hours a day, 35 hours a week. 2 months later, I moved to Thailand, the land of smiles as they call it. Here's a picture of Koh Phi Phi Island, where they filmed the beach. Personally, I think all writers should live near nature in one of its awe-inspiring forms. I find it brings out my creativity on days where I need to take an extra boost from a morning walk. Moving abroad wasn't just a thrill, it saved me money too. I cut my expenses by 70%. Rent ain't cheap in Southern California. I was totally unchained, and the feeling of freedom in a foreign land was something like out of a dream. By day, I was walking along the beach to get my creative flows going, and then spending a casual, boss-free 7 hours writing sales pages for clients, all while refining my own online sales skills. By night, I was meeting tourists from all over the globe as they came to visit the second most visited country in the world. And of course, I got to know many exceptionally sweet Thai people as well. That was 9 years ago. Now, as I'm turning the corner into my 30s, I still can't believe I have this life. Now, I'll say it again. I ain't mega rich, but my savings grow every day on about $5,000 a month average. Some months higher, some months a little lower. I love what I do. And it sounds corny, but I really do feel totally free, like I'm fully in control of my life and my daily schedule. So if getting started has been difficult for you, or you don't need silly money like $100,000 a month just to live a great life working for yourself, then I encourage you to give this easier path some serious thought. But can I actually do the same thing, Sean? Am I good enough to get people to pay for my words? I hear you asking. It seems a lot of new writers think you have to be Stephen King in order to get paid $50 or more an hour to write. Well, look at this video. Is my writing fancy? Oscar worthy? No, just plain speak. The point is, if you can speak, then you can write. Companies pay for the ideas you bring, unique insights, interesting angles on old topics, maybe a bit of research. Large fancy words just make the piece harder to read and break the down-to-earth tone you have with your readers. That's why you see large words in academic textbooks and nowhere else. So bottom line is, yes, you can do this. Choose your battles wisely, bud. Get away from questioning yourself and put your mind on getting the clients, because your energy really does matter there. I wrote a whole guide about that. In fact, the $60,000 home-based writer, though it looks like a book, is actually a full training program on how to become a well-paid home-based writer. I took everything I wish somebody taught me from the beginning, as I was running into walls trying to build a solid income, and I wrote it all down in this guide. You'll learn everything about being a $60,000 home-based writer, no stone left unturned. Places to land jobs, some of which welcome new writers with open arms. Actually getting the clients? Follow these steps and another 1 to 2 out of 5 will hand you the project. Charging a rate that makes you smile every day, all while making them feel like they got a deal as well. Turning over work quickly and efficiently. This itself is a crucial skill for spending less time making the same amount of money. From legal to marketing, no stone is left unturned. This guide is all you'll ever need to become a home-based writer. But let's be real. You succeed or fail right at the first job, which is why the next section is perhaps the most valuable part of the whole book. I call this the $1,000 home income launchpad, because that's exactly what it's meant to do. Spell out the path to your first $1,000, which you can then replicate endlessly. My reasoning for this section is simple. Pretty much everyone succeeds or fails right at the beginning. So that's where you and I will put all our effort in getting those first few jobs. From there, you're off to the races. That essentially sums up the core of the book, but we're just getting started. Because since you're about to become a fellow writer, I wanted to give you a few free extras as a special welcoming gift. Bonus 1, the Location Independent Traveler's Guide. Once you cut the chains of the workplace, there's nothing holding you back from working anywhere within an internet connection. I'll be sharing my experiences living in Thailand, and I've gathered a bunch of juicy tidbits from my writing buddies about other stunning locations to live and work, both as a passerby or a longer-term expat. Consider this special guide to be an appetizer, a look into what it's like to be location independent. Personally, I consider it one of the most valuable gifts of the writing path. Bonus 2, quality assurance checklist for new writers. All throughout school, you were probably trained to try and impress the teachers for free. Now suddenly, someone is paying you $100 to $300 for a few pages of content. Is your writing really worth it? What will they think? What will they say? I know the feeling, and that's why I'm giving you this special report. Quality assurance checklists for new writers helps you answer the questions of quality and completeness on every task with a simple checklist. It's fast, easy, efficient, and tremendously confidence boosting. Now you can take the guesswork out of assessing your own writing. You'll also save time by reviewing drafts over a single pass. The client's going to be impressed, and you'll be seeing repeat business in the future when you use the quality assurance checklists. Yours free with the purchase of the $60,000 home-based writer. Now I have a rather simple question for you. Would you invest 1 hour of your time to save 100 hours of trial and error? A decent writer makes about $30 to $70 an hour. This guide's only $27. Think about that. Can you save just 1 hour by being mentored into home-based writing? Obviously. You actually save more than 100 hours by following my lead if you add it all together. That's the power of being guided by someone with experience. The guide is a digital download. Access it immediately after ordering. Separate emails with download links will also be mailed to you for the main guide and bonuses. Time is money, my friend. I suggest you capture this knowledge and then dive into the writing world in the fastest time possible. Start making hundreds of dollars a day, thousands every month as a writer, without any of the pain and frustration of trial and error. The $60,000 home-based writer lays out the whole path for you. Press the Add to Cart button now to order your copy of the $60,000 home-based writer, along with your free bonuses, the Location Independent Traveler's Guide, and quality assurance checklists for new writers. Now, I could tell you that this guide has worked out pretty well for our customers, but I'd rather let our newly unchained writers tell you themselves. Ronald Pangarian, a 24-year-old from Stillwater, Oklahoma, writes in, "The accounting world was driving me mad, and my cubicle was feeling like a little jail cell more and more every day. I tried e-commerce, blogs, you name it. I probably dabbled in it. Nothing was working. Then I bought your guide. I applied for some entry-level writing gigs, and wouldn't you know it, the $1,000 step-by-step program basically worked exactly as you wrote. Now with several months of making $3,000 to $4,000 consistently, I'm getting ready to put in my 2-week notice. $60,000 will be hit this year. I can't believe how simple it really was. Thanks for helping me make it as a home-based writer." Shannon Steinhauser, a lifelong boat lover, sailor, and writer, shares her experience. "Wow, I can't believe I'm actually writing for the boating industry. My family basically lives on the water, at least during our vacations. My dad is asking me how a formerly lazy teenage girl now sails half a month and writes from a different part of the world the other half. This is a freaking awesome way to make a living. I just love hearing success stories like these. It goes to show that anyone truly can make a safe, secure writing income at home or on the water. It's not rocket science. But if for any reason you'd rather not pursue the writing path, then consider your money refunded in full. Maybe you just don't feel motivated for writing. No problem. Then I'm not even going to charge you for my book. I only want folks to pay who've had their lives transformed by being able to work at home as a writer. This is my way of killing every ounce of risk in your new journey. Email me back anytime in the next 60 days and tell me, "Sean, it was good, but it wasn't for me." Within 24 hours, your money is in your account again. You don't even have to tell me why. Okay, I have one final bit of advice before we part ways today. Whatever you do to make your first dollar online, make sure you plan to get your money in 8 weeks or less, okay? I don't care how small the money is. It just has to be something. I offer this advice purely out of the desire to see you succeed. Why 8 weeks? Because almost any small-scale project can be tested in that time frame. During my 9 years working online, I've seen many smart, ambitious people spinning their wheels for years on end on projects that go nowhere. Hearing their stories can be gut-wrenching at times. Among my internet marketer circle, getting in the money fast to prevent such ruin is probably the single best success secret I know of. That's why I'm leaving you with this final nugget. Personally, I think writing is the very best way to get started online. This presentation outlines why. If it makes sense to you, I encourage you to read my book and get in the money quick. I want you to be free, and I welcome the opportunity to bring you into our ranks as a well-paid, home-based writer. This is Sean De Silva, and it's been a pleasure to introduce you to the treasure trove of opportunity in the writing profession. If you're at all excited by the possibilities and you'd like to carve out a new path in your online money-making destiny, press the Add to Cart button now to order your copy of the $60,000 Home-Based Writer, along with your free bonuses including the Location Independent Traveler's Guide and quality assurance checklists for new writers.